Our Earth spins on its axis at over 1,600 kilometers per hour at the equator. We do not feel this speed because everything around us moves with the Earth. It is like being in a smoothly moving aeroplane. You do not feel the speed unless the plane changes its motion suddenly. Imagine a terrifying scenario. What if the Earth suddenly stopped spinning? If Earth ceased its rotation, the consequences would be immediate and catastrophic. Everything not securely anchored would continue its eastward motion due to inertia. Inertia is the resistance of any physical object to any change in its state of motion. If the solid Earth stopped, the air, water and all loose objects would keep moving at up to 1,600 kilometers per hour. This would create the most powerful winds ever experienced, sweeping across the surface with unimaginable destructive force. Buildings would be ripped from their foundations, cars and trees would become high-speed projectiles, and people would be flung eastward. The surface of the planet would be scoured clean in minutes, erasing civilization almost instantly. The very landscape would be violently reshaped by this sudden, unimaginable braking force. The sheer force of this continued motion would be devastating. It would be a global cataclysm on an unprecedented scale. The atmosphere, the oceans, and the ground beneath our feet all travel together. Our planet's spin is remarkably consistent, a silent engine driving many terrestrial phenomena. The laws of physics make such an abrupt halt highly improbable. However, considering this "what if" helps us understand our planet. The Earth's oceans would react with terrifying violence. As the planet stopped, vast bodies of water would surge eastward, creating tsunamis of unimaginable height and power. These colossal waves would travel at speeds comparable to jet aircraft, sweeping across continents. The Earth itself would begin to change its shape. Our planet's spin causes it to bulge at the equator. Without rotation, gravity would relax the planet into a more spherical shape. This adjustment would trigger immense geological stresses, leading to massive earthquakes. Fault lines would rupture, and volcanic activity would likely increase dramatically. Water would migrate towards the poles, causing a dramatic redistribution. A vast megacontinent could emerge, while polar regions would be drowned under deep oceans. New coastlines would form, and familiar landmasses would disappear, or become part of a larger supercontinent. The map of the world would be redrawn, rendering it unrecognizable. The cessation of Earth's spin would fundamentally alter our climate. One side of the Earth would face the sun for 6 long months, followed by 6 months of continuous darkness. This drastic change would lead to temperature extremes far beyond anything currently experienced on Earth. During the 6-month-long day, the sun-facing side would bake, with temperatures soaring to scorching levels. Conversely, the side plunged into a 6-month night would experience an extreme freeze, becoming a dark, frigid wasteland. Furthermore, Earth's protective magnetic field would likely weaken significantly or even disappear. This magnetic field shields us from harmful solar radiation and cosmic rays. Without a robust magnetic field, the Earth's surface would be bombarded by lethal radiation, eroding the atmosphere over time. The increased exposure to cosmic rays and ultraviolet radiation would be deadly for most forms of life. DNA would be damaged, leading to mutations and cancers. The conditions on the surface would become hostile to complex organisms. Even if some life survived the initial physical devastation, the loss of this invisible shield would pose a grave long-term threat to its continued existence. Our planet's relatively stable climate depends heavily on its rotation, which distributes solar energy. Survival for humanity in such a drastically altered world would be almost impossible. The surface would be uninhabitable due to the extreme temperatures, radiation, and violent initial cataclysm. Perhaps a small number of people might find temporary refuge in deep underground shelters, but maintaining such bunkers indefinitely would be an immense challenge. Civilization as we know it would cease to exist. Our cities, monuments to human ingenuity, would be obliterated ruins. All infrastructure, power grids, communication networks, transportation systems would be destroyed. Organized agriculture would collapse, leading to widespread famine even for any hypothetical survivors. Ecosystems worldwide would be devastated, with plants and animals adapted to specific climates and day-night cycles perishing. Some hardy microorganisms, particularly extremophiles, might adapt and survive in deep environments. However, complex multicellular life, especially creatures like humans, would face almost certain extinction. Our species is adapted to a very specific set of environmental conditions. all intricately linked to Earth's steady spin. The Earth's rotation is a fundamental aspect of its ability to support life. Contemplating a scenario where this spin ceases underscores its profound importance. It reminds us that we live on a dynamic, interconnected planet. Many cosmic and geological factors must be just right for life like ours to flourish.